The moment I held the keys to my new apartment, still warm from the realtor's hand, I felt everything fall into place. My name is Claire Harris, I'm 29, and after 6 years of relentless sacrifice, I could finally say, I own my home. No mortgage, no roommates, no asking permission to hang a picture. Every inch of this 2-bedroom unit on the east side was mine. I had worked tirelessly to get here. 2 years ago, a promotion at Thompson & Mills, a marketing firm, nearly doubled my salary. I lived like a minimalist, no vacations, no takeout, no splurges. Every cent went into savings. But the real turning point came a year ago when my grandmother, Evelyn, passed away. She was my mother's mother, my rock, and in her will, she left me $150,000. Combined with my savings, it was enough to buy this apartment outright. When I signed the final documents, I felt a rush of pride and freedom. The realtor blinked twice when I said I'd pay in full, like she couldn't believe it. That freedom lasted 36 hours. On Wednesday morning, my phone buzzed. Dad flashed on the screen, and my stomach sank. We hadn't spoken in months. Claire, he said, voice flat, come over for lunch on Saturday. We need to talk. No congratulations, no mention of the apartment photos I'd posted online. Just a cold summons. It brought back memories of my childhood, where I always felt like an outsider in my own family. My mother died of cancer when I was 9. One day she was tucking me in, humming softly. The next, she was gone. My father remarried within a year. Linda, his new wife, arrived with sharp perfume and a daughter, Emily. Soon, they had another daughter together. Linda made it clear I wasn't part of her perfect family. I couldn't have friends over, couldn't use the TV without asking, couldn't play music without headphones. Emily, though, was the princess. New clothes, lavish birthday parties, an iPad before she could spell. What hurt most was my father's silence. He let me fade. The one light in those dark years was Grandma Evelyn. Her house, 15 minutes away by bike, smelled of cinnamon and old books. There I felt seen. I'd spend hours with her, baking or watching old films, often with my cousins, Emma, Jack, and Tommy, Aunt Meredith's kids. They were my real family. At home, Emily grew from spoiled to manipulative, hiding my homework, deleting my shows, spreading rumors. Linda always blamed me. Claire, stop upsetting your sister. My father echoed her, without looking up. At 18, I had one goal, escape. My acceptance to Western Lakes University, 3 states away, with a partial scholarship, was my ticket out. Grandma Evelyn cried happy tears and promised to cover what the scholarship didn't. College was like stepping into sunlight. I studied hard, worked at the campus bookstore, made friends, and called Grandma every Sunday. My father called maybe twice a year, asking, how's school? Need anything? Linda and Emily never called. After graduating with honors, I got a job offer from Thompson & Mills. I returned to my home state, planning to stay with my dad, while I found a place. Linda's voice was syrupy. We turned her room into a closet for Emily's things. She's home from boarding school. You understand. I hung up, called Grandma, and moved into her guest room. 6 months later, I rented a tiny studio. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Then Grandma Evelyn passed away, a stroke, sudden and peaceful. I was devastated. She was the one person who loved me unconditionally. Her funeral was small. My father stayed for 15 minutes. In her will, she left me $150,000 with a letter. To Claire, who reminds me so much of her mother. May this help you build a life free, full, and your own. I cried until I couldn't breathe. That money, plus my savings, bought my apartment. It wasn't extravagant, but it was perfect. Big windows, hardwood floors, close to work. Signing the papers felt like claiming my place in the world. The peace shattered with my father's call. On Saturday, I drove to their house, my old home, my stomach tightening with every mile. Dad opened the door, expressionless. Come in. No hug. Inside, Linda sat in her armchair. Emily sprawled on the couch, glued to her phone. Sit, Dad said. The silence was suffocating. He cleared his throat. Emily's been accepted to the local university. She needs a place close to campus. Your apartment is perfect. I blinked. You want her to live with me? Dad shook his head. No, Claire. We're asking you to give her the apartment. Sign it over. Linda nodded. It's closer to campus, and she needs a safe space to study. I laughed, incredulous. And I don't. Linda's smile was tight. You're a single woman in a 2-bedroom apartment. Isn't that excessive? Dad's face darkened. It wasn't your money. Your grandmother gave it to you. Something snapped. Grandma was the only one who treated me like family, I said. She left me that money because she knew what you put me through. Emily pouted. You've always been mean to me. I turned to my father. You stopped being a parent when Mom died. I walked out. The next morning, texts flooded in. Dad, you're the older sister. Help her. Linda, you're selfish, just like your mother. I didn't respond. Instead, I hosted a housewarming party with friends and cousins. Laughter filled my apartment, real and warm. Jack pulled me aside, showing me photos from Lorenzo's restaurant. There was Linda, cozy with a man I didn't know, Robert Mitchell from Riverside Insurance. They were kissing, hands intertwined. Photos going back 15 years showed them together, always close. Then I saw Emily's face next to Robert's. The same jawline, green eyes, smile. She didn't look like my father. She looked like Robert. I needed proof. I bought a home DNA test kit. The next weekend, Dad invited me over again, colder this time. While they lectured me downstairs, I slipped into Emily's room and took strands from her hairbrush. I sent them with my sample for testing. 3 days later, Dad called again, demanding I come over. At their house, he didn't waste time. Sign over the apartment, or you're out of the will. No inheritance, no support. Linda smirked. I played along, asking to use the bathroom. In Emily's room, I grabbed more hair, my hands steady now. The DNA results arrived a week later. Emily wasn't my father's daughter. The truth was clinical, undeniable. I didn't send it to him. This wasn't about revenge. It was about my voice, my worth. I haven't spoken to them since. My apartment is my sanctuary, built with my hands and heart. Sometimes, revenge isn't loud. It's the silence of walking away, knowing the truth, and choosing peace.